Royal shock, Leonor and Christian's first royal fight. A glittering palace hall, cameras flash, smiles freeze. Everyone expects perfect harmony between the young royals. But tonight, something shatters that image. A whispered disagreement. A glance that speaks volumes. Is this the first crack in a storybook romance? Or the moment they discover what true loyalty means? The scene begins in Madrid, where Princess Leonor of Asturias, radiant in a pale blue gown, steps into a private reception hall. Prince Christian of Denmark stands beside her, elegant yet tense. This was supposed to be a quiet family celebration after weeks of official events. Instead, insiders say the mood shifted quickly. Within minutes of arriving, Leonor and Christian moved to a side corridor, away from the orchestra and chatter. Guests noticed their animated expressions. Was it a misunderstanding, a clash of opinions over royal duties, or something far more personal? What makes this moment so striking is how public yet private it felt. In a world where every move is choreographed, here were two young people experiencing something raw and unscripted. Witnesses describe Christian's gestures as protective but frustrated, Leonor's as firm yet graceful. No raised voices, but unmistakable tension, the kind of tension only people who care deeply can generate. Why did this matter so much? Because until now, the narrative around these two had been one of seamless unity, shared values, shared destinies, and whispered predictions of a future alliance between Spain and Denmark. This moment cracked that perfect portrait and revealed a glimpse of real life behind royal protocol. As the evening unfolded, Leonor returned to the main hall with composed dignity. Christian followed a few moments later, his smile measured. Yet their eyes found each other again and again across the room. The dance floor remained empty between them, a silent stage waiting for resolution. Insiders close to both families suggest the disagreement stemmed from conflicting schedules and expectations. Leonor is preparing for her intense military training and constitutional duties in Spain. Christian faces increasing public appearances and responsibilities in Denmark. Balancing personal connection with royal obligation can test even the most committed pair. And here lies the deeper story. Far from a simple quarrel, this may have been the first true negotiation of two lives shaped by tradition but driven by personal choice. This is where their bond will either fracture or strengthen. Each time the tension seemed to rise, something remarkable happened. Leonor's hand brushed Christian's as she passed him a glass of water. Christian, in turn, adjusted her shawl when the night air chilled. These gestures, small but telling, hinted that even amid disagreement, respect and care endure. The guests noticed. Some whispered. Others pretended not to see. Yet everyone felt the electricity in the room. Not the rehearsed sparkle of a gala, but the unmistakable charge of two young hearts confronting the weight of their futures. As the orchestra struck a slow waltz, speculation rippled. Would they dance? For long minutes they stayed apart. Then, near the end of the evening, Leonor extended her hand. Christian accepted. They moved onto the floor, not with fairy tale perfection but with quiet determination. Their steps were measured, their expressions thoughtful, but in that dance lay an unspoken apology and an unbroken connection. This is why the night has captured imaginations across Europe. It wasn't scandal for scandal's sake. It was authenticity, the rare glimpse of two royals navigating real emotions under a spotlight. What happens next? That's the chained curiosity drawing millions to follow their story. Will they emerge stronger, showing the world that love can coexist with duty? Or will the pressures of protocol pull them apart? Each public appearance will now be scrutinized for clues. Consider the parallels with past royal couples. History shows that the moments of greatest tension often precede the deepest commitments. In this sense, what some are calling a fight may in fact be a turning point, the night they stopped being a fairy tale image and started becoming a real partnership. As you imagine this night, picture the candlelight reflecting off gilded mirrors, the soft strains of violins, the echo of whispers along marble corridors. Picture two young heirs not as icons but as human beings, vulnerable, passionate, determined to write their own future within ancient walls. By the time the carriages rolled away from the palace, the story had already taken on a life of its own. Headlines screamed of discord, but those closest to the couple quietly suggested something else: growth. Because love, even royal love, is not defined by the absence of conflict but by the way conflict is transformed into understanding. And so, as dawn broke over Madrid, the question lingered, was this a fight, or was it the first honest conversation of a lifetime? For those who watched, the answer may determine not just the future of two young people but the shape of royal alliances for decades to come. Stay with this story, because each new appearance, each shared glance, each subtle gesture will either confirm the end of a myth or the beginning of a stronger, truer bond.